Ramadan is the ninth month of the Islamic calendar, and it is considered one of the holiest months in the Islamic faith. The history of Ramadan dates back to the year 610 CE when the Islamic prophet Muhammad received the first revelation of the Quran from Allah, God, through the angel Gabriel. This event is known as the Night of Power, Laylat al-Qadr, and it is believed to have occurred during the last 10 days of Ramadan. The observance of Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which are the fundamental religious obligations that every Muslim is expected to follow. The other pillars include the declaration of faith, shahada, prayer, salah, giving of alms, zakat, and pilgrimage to Mecca, hajj. During Ramadan, Muslims fast from dawn to sunset, refraining from food, drink, and other physical needs. Fasting is intended to teach Muslims self-discipline, self-control, and empathy for those who are less fortunate. It is also believed to purify the soul and bring one closer to Allah. In addition to fasting, Muslims are encouraged to increase their worship and good deeds during Ramadan. This includes attending the nightly prayers, Taraweeh, held at mosques, reading and studying the Quran, and giving to charity. Ramadan concludes with the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, a 3-day festival that marks the end of the fasting period. Muslims gather with family and friends, exchange gifts, and enjoy traditional foods. Taraweeh is a special prayer that is performed during the month of Ramadan by Muslims all over the world. It is a voluntary prayer that is offered after the obligatory Isha prayer, and it consists of reciting long portions of the Quran in standing position. The history of Taraweeh prayer can be traced back to the time of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. According to Islamic tradition, the prophet Muhammad initially prayed Taraweeh in congregation during the first few days of Ramadan, but he later discontinued the practice for fear that it would become obligatory on his followers. However, after his death, the practice was revived by his companions, and it has been performed ever since. It is believed that the Taraweeh prayer was first performed in congregation by the second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, during his reign. He gathered Muslims in the mosque and appointed Ubay ibn Kabi, one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, as the prayer leader. The number of rakas, units of prayer, in Taraweeh prayer has varied throughout history. During the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab, Taraweeh consisted of 20 rakas, but it was later reduced to 8 rakas during the time of Caliph Uthman ibn Affan. This is the practice that is followed by most Muslims today. Taraweeh prayer is considered a special opportunity for Muslims to connect with Allah and to deepen their spiritual practice during the holy month of Ramadan. It is often performed in congregation at mosques, but it can also be performed individually at home. Eid al-Fitr, also known as the Festival of Breaking the Fast, is a major Islamic holiday celebrated by Muslims around the world. It marks the end of the month-long fasting period of Ramadan and the beginning of the month of Shawwal. The history of Eid al-Fitr dates back to the time of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, who established it as an annual celebration. According to Islamic tradition, the first Eid al-Fitr was celebrated in the year 624 CE, after the Prophet Muhammad and his companions completed their first month-long fast during the month of Ramadan. The celebration of Eid al-Fitr typically lasts for 3 days and is a time of great joy and festivity for Muslims. It is a time to give thanks to Allah for his blessings, to spend time with family and friends, and to share food and gifts with one another. The day of Eid al-Fitr begins with Muslims attending a special prayer service in the morning, known as the Eid prayer, which is held in congregation at mosques or open-air locations. After the prayer, Muslims exchange greetings and hugs with one another, and children often receive gifts and sweets. In many Muslim countries, Eid al-Fitr is a public holiday, and celebrations may include carnivals, parades, and feasts. In some places, Muslims may also perform acts of charity, such as giving money or food to those in need, as part of the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Overall, Eid al-Fitr is an important holiday in the Islamic calendar, and it is a time for Muslims to come together in celebration and gratitude for the blessings of Allah. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are 2 major Islamic holidays celebrated by Muslims worldwide. While both holidays are significant and involve similar activities, there are some key differences between them. Occasion. Eid al-Fitr is celebrated at the end of the month-long fast of Ramadan, while Eid al-Adha is celebrated during the Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah, which is the last month of the Islamic calendar. Meaning, Eid al-Fitr is a celebration of the end of the month-long fast and is a time of giving thanks to Allah for the strength and willpower to complete the fast. Eid al-Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice, commemorates the willingness of the Prophet Abraham, to sacrifice his son Ishmael, for Allah's sake. Activities. Both holidays involve attending special prayers in the morning, known as Eid prayers, and spending time with family and friends. During Eid al-Fitr, Muslims also typically give gifts, wear new clothes, and enjoy traditional foods. During Eid al-Adha, Muslims often perform the sacrifice of an animal, usually a goat or a sheep, and distribute the meat to family, friends, and the needy. Duration. Eid al-Fitr is celebrated for 3 days, while Eid al-Adha is celebrated for 4 days. Overall, while both Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha are important Islamic holidays, they have different meanings and occur during different times of the year. Ramadan is a month of fasting and spiritual reflection in Islam. The practice of fasting during Ramadan has several benefits for Muslims, including increased spiritual awareness. Ramadan is a time for Muslims to focus on their spiritual lives and develop a closer relationship with Allah. Fasting helps to increase mindfulness and awareness of one's actions, thoughts, and feelings. Improved self-discipline. Fasting requires Muslims to abstain from food, drink, and other pleasures from dawn to sunset. This helps to cultivate self-discipline, self-control, and patience, which are important virtues in Islam. Greater empathy for the less fortunate. Fasting during Ramadan helps Muslims to better understand the plight of those who are less fortunate and in need. This increased empathy can motivate Muslims to give charity, volunteer their time, and help those in need. Physical health benefits. Fasting has been shown to have several health benefits, including weight loss, improved insulin sensitivity, and reduced inflammation. Strengthen social ties. Ramadan is a time for Muslims to come together and strengthen their social ties with family, friends, and the wider Muslim community. This is often done through breaking the fast together, attending communal prayers, and participating in charity events. Overall, Ramadan provides Muslims with an opportunity to deepen their spiritual lives, cultivate important virtues, and connect with their fellow Muslims. It is a time for self-reflection, self-improvement, and giving back to others.